very man you are seeing his picture here now is a POP installer, and his name is Adebola. So this very man has narrated how a man, that promised to give him a job of 1 million naira tried to, roll with his other 15 colleagues. Please, those that travel out to go and do their work, please be very, very careful. Now listen what really happened. So according to this very man, he said he was at a site with 15 of his colleagues where they were installing a POP. So this very man came around and saw them and approached him and said that he liked what they were doing and that he has a client he wants them to work for. They now exchanged their phone numbers and then left. The next day, that man now called Adebola and told him to, to come over to a place that when he comes there, all of them will now follow and then go to Anambra. That is Anambra, they were going to do the thing. So this very, he sent transport fare for all of them. So this very man and his 15 colleagues, they traveled to that very place. And then when they got there, they saw this very man. Now, the man told them that the person who they are going to do the work for will be coming to pick them up, that they should wait. According to this very man, he said they waited 8 p.m. in the night before the man now came. He said the man now came with his car and all of them entered into the car. And he said they started moving. He said they drove for a very long time. And what he noticed was the place that they were driving them to was a bush, a very thick forest. The man was driving them there. And before you could know it, they now reached there, and they reached there around 2 a.m. in the morning. Something they left around 8 p.m. You see, when they got there, it was a very lonely place. It was only that very site was the only building there. The other places was just bush all around. So they now asked them to come down and said this is where they are going to do the work. So they were given the sample of what they were going to do. And so they stayed there for 1 week and did what they wanted them to do. So after the whole thing, they were giving them food. After the whole thing, they now asked for their money. So they told them that they were going to take them to the oga who was going to pay them. So they now entered into the vehicle and they drove them to another bush, another place. So when they got there, according to this very man, he said the whole place was so lonely, deserted. Only that particular place. And he saw more than 30 hefty guys there. So he said immediately they drove from the car, they collected their phones, collected their bags, asked them to pull their clothes off, and then put them inside one room and locked them up. 16 of them. So he said they stayed there like a week. What they were doing was in the morning, they would give them food. At times, they give them food once or twice. So they were just there. And meanwhile, this very particular person, Adebola, they selected him out of the 16 of them and asked him to be, cleaning the whole environment, cutting the grass and so on. So that was what he was doing. So after doing, they would take him back into the room where they locked the others. So this very man said they stayed there for like 2 weeks. Then on a particular day, they now came with the hillocks and told all of them to go inside the car. When they entered, they now blindfolded their eyes and they were driving. So they drove for a very long time. And then when they got to the place they were going, inside a bush, they told them to get down. When they got down, they told them to, pull off their clothes because they were wearing clothes again. Told them to pull off their clothes. And then out of 16 of them, they saw 7 elderly men in the front of a shrine there. There was a shrine there. So those men started doing, incantation around them. After the incantation, 4 of them were chosen. The remaining 12 entered back into the car. They, closed their eyes and took them back to that place and then kept them in that same room. Then after 2 weeks again, they did the same thing, took the 12 of them to another shrine. According to this very boy, said it was different shrine. They took them to another shrine, did the same thing, selected 4 of them and took the remaining 8 back. This was how they were doing until they remained 4. This very man said, and ever since he was doing the cleaning work there, he was looking for an Appian way where he can use to, escape. So he said one particular day, because they were now remaining 4. So he said that particular day, he just summoned courage, and started running inside the bush, started to find his way. He ran until he saw a hunter, and he asked the hunter to give him his phone, let him call somebody. So according to him, he said there was a number that he has offhand of his brother. He now called the person and told the person what happened. The person now sent money into that very hunter's account, and then that was how he started coming back. And this is how this man was just rescued. He just came back. The other ones were just gone. So you people that go and do work, You have to be very careful. See, what they are doing now is, since they are building that very house now, they've done the POP, and now when they want to do plumbing work, they will still do exactly the same thing, even painters. So we have to be very, very careful. You that go out for work, please be very, very careful. People are so desperate to make money. Thanks for watching and have a great day.